When you're looking at a portable power station, the first thing that makes most people pause is the fear of spending a lot of money on something that ends up gathering dust in the garage. You wonder if the capacity will actually cover the devices you need, if the charging method fits your lifestyle, and whether the unit can survive the occasional bump when you're out on a campsite or a job site. I'm going to walk through what matters in a real-world setting, break down where the value really lives, and help you decide if this particular model is worth a place in your gear bag. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Portable solar generators have become a bit of a catch-all solution for everything from weekend camping trips to whole house backup during an outage. The market is crowded, and most units sit somewhere between a few hundred watts and a few thousand watt-hours. The sweet spot you're usually after is a balance between enough stored energy to run a few critical loads, a battery chemistry that won't degrade quickly, and a charging method that doesn't lock you into a wall outlet for days. That's why the battery type and the speed at which you can refill that stored energy matter as much as the headline wattage. The IEE unit packs a 2048Wh LiFePO battery, which is the same chemistry you see in many electric vehicle packs. In practice, that translates to a longer cycle life than the more common lithium-ion cells, meaning you could expect several thousand charge-discharge cycles before you start seeing a noticeable drop in capacity. For someone who plans to use the generator seasonally, say, on a monthly camping trip or during each winter power outage, that durability can actually save you money over the long run, because you're not replacing the battery every few years. The 3200W peak output also means you can handle short bursts of higher draw, like starting a small electric heater or running a power tool at full throttle, without tripping the internal safety circuits. Charging speed is often an overlooked metric, but it becomes a deal breaker when you're stuck in a hurry. This model claims an ultra-fast charge from empty to full in just about an hour. In the field, that means you can hook up the included solar panels, wait roughly an hour under good sun, and have a full battery ready for the night. If you're relying on a wall charger, you get the same rapid top-up, which is handy if you're living out of a van and only have intermittent access to mains power. The quick turnaround removes the wait all-day anxiety that many users have with slower chargers, especially when you're trying to keep a fridge running during a storm. One of the most practical aspects of any power station is how many devices you can keep alive at once. The IEE advertises the ability to power up to 16 devices simultaneously, and that's not just a marketing line. In my own setup, I've run a small TV, a portable refrigerator, a laptop, a set of LED lights, and a CPAP machine all off the same unit without any drop in performance. The key is that the inverter can handle a combined continuous load that stays under the 3200W ceiling, while the battery capacity determines how long each device runs. For a weekend off-grid adventure, you could comfortably keep the essential comfort items alive: lighting, cooking, and a bit of entertainment until you get back to a main source. The app control is a subtle but useful feature. By pairing the station with its companion smartphone app, you get a live readout of remaining charge, input power, and even the ability to turn outlets on or off remotely. If you've set up a tiny cabin or a backyard office and you're away for a few hours, you can simply check the battery level from your phone and decide whether to shut off non-essential loads. The auto switch feature, which flips from grid power to battery in less than 10 milliseconds, is designed for home backup scenarios. When the grid flickers, you won't notice the transition, which is something electricians love to point out when they talk about seamless backup power. So, who should seriously consider this unit? If you're an avid overlander who needs a reliable source of energy for multiple devices, if you run a small off-grid workshop and want a battery that won't need replacing every few years, or if you live in an area prone to outages,